by Amy Witcher. I did try to turn it into people. Multiple people. Marcia Estrada, I tried to send her that evidence. You know, that's one of the things about trying to show people in person, but they've got their own ideas. And because they're busy with their own ideas, you are forced into a situation where you can't even stay in that area anymore. A lot of people bitched at me because I did things that were as they asked me to, but not exactly how they asked me to. Like, yes, I should move, but I had to move out of state because of abuse by law enforcement. Marcia Estrada and Megan Messigatis both wanted to be mad at me because I didn't move to a place of their choosing. Well, in literally over a year of trying to... Had they found a place of their choosing for me to go? No. We'd just been wasting time on housing. The date on here is important. It was in 2022. How many years have I tried to turn this in and been blown off or treated shittily for it? Gone in to turn it into cops and they tell me it's not their job, or I got to call somebody else who's not going to take it seriously. I call APS. What a fucking joke. I have to try to do this from inside of a fucking vehicle, dipshits. While these people claimed that they would help me, they were too busy abusing their own fucking kids. In specific, on this date, this one, I sent messages between myself and Amy Witcher, showing her cocaine addiction, her husband's meth addiction, proof of prior knowledge of those things. There's also proof that I tried to turn it in prior. In 2016, the cops didn't do their jobs in Virginia. A pretty girl said something, and her family had a house. What I had is a broken vehicle, a broken body, severe dehydration. I wasn't going to get heard. Natalie could have told them that I didn't stalk her, that it was her idea for me to go there. But they didn't do that. All the things that they tried to pretend like I was a stalker for doing that were actually done were done in Virginia and at their request. As far as any of that stuff, you guys try to pretend that I was parked behind her work in Colorado for weeks. I didn't know she was fucking in the goddamn state. Why did law enforcement do everything that they could to prevent me from getting my hands on the body cam evidence? Like the body camera evidence from the day that I was served with papers. How I had to do that alone, even though there were some people who were supposed to do that with me. Kara Heller was supposed to help. Jeff Ritter was supposed to help. I didn't even have the ability to take screenshots until after Natalie was killed. I was completely flat fucking broke. I had like $2.50 on a Starbucks card. Even if I'd have known I had a fucking court date, I couldn't have gone to it. And of course, you have to have a piece of mail in a week before your court date. A whole week before your court date. How is that possible if you're served papers 6 days before court? They don't tell you where it's from. I was only in Boulder to get that paperwork because that's where I was told to go. It was a fucking setup. All of the crimes in Boulder that were committed against me. Not once did I ever attempt to contact Natalie Bollinger, ever, from Boulder, because I wasn't there. She outright lied and told people I was homeless in Boulder. I wasn't. I was living in Inglewood with a couple of drug dealers so that I could do what my therapist in Nebraska said, which is go to Colorado along the Front Range because there's supposed to be services there to help. There weren't. There was Jeff Ritter, the fucking bullshitter, and Kara Heller, the fucking bullshitter. There was Ken Wilson and Leatha Plunkett, the fucking thieves. There was Don Bird, the physical assaulter. There was Gabriel Plunkett, one of the victims, who also has Asperger's. You pretend that we're too retarded to know what's going on. Like, because we think differently than you, that we must be retarded. You mean because we don't try to pervert every goddamn thing? Or because we don't like small talk? I'm fucking sorry is a useless fucking statement. I'm sorry fixes nothing. When you say, I'm sorry I didn't come forward, and then you still don't come forward, your sorry doesn't mean jack shit. Marcia Estrada was not only notified about the abuse, she was sent evidence of the abuse, including abuse against me, including proof that what I was saying was true. That's important. Dr. Arata in the prison, he said, when I was talking to him about how the police just run around telling everybody that I'm delusional, that obviously I'm telling the truth, and all people need to do is look it up, but that I was locked up to prevent me from having access to any of the evidence to show anyone. Prevent me from being able to take an active role in my own court dates, in my own defense, and my public pretenders wanting to threaten, harass, and intimidate me into pleading guilty when it didn't work. How well did that go? By the time they put me in prison on false charges, yeah, it was already pretty fucking hardcore. You have no idea how much they hated me. Every lockup facility they put me in, they fucking hate me in. I will not go quietly into the night. I will not be silent about the things that matter. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a very intelligent man. My favorite hero of the 20th century. And not because of the color of his skin, but for the content of his character. When it came to basic human and civil rights, he didn't just fight for those for you, he also fought for it for those of us who are different. All of us. Human and civil rights. Even for disabled people. Even if they're white. Even if they're broke. But I'm the wrong color. I can't be a victim according to modern society because I'm white. I can't be a victim according to modern society because I'm a male. I must deserve to take the abuse today from you over things that did not happen to you hundreds of years ago, that I didn't do hundreds of years ago, like slavery and like your right to vote. But you use those things as an excuse for you personally to harm me personally today, and then you tell me not to live in the past. Marcia Estrada was for certainly made aware of the abuse by Amy Witcher and Andrew Witcher, including against their children. Marcia Estrada, as well as many other professionals in Nebraska, chose to lie to me about what the law says about that and about what their job is to do. I did the right thing by trying to turn it in. I was informed by a parent about the situation. I was informed by Amy Witcher that she needed me, as many women do, needed me to be a babysitter for her because she was kicking a child molesting drug addict out of her house. She also let me know that another man who she claimed had molested her children, their dad, their real dad, was watching the kids while she went to work. Well, you guys mocked me when I said I needed a safe place to go through this evidence. A safe, quiet place where I could sit down and do what I needed to do to show the truth. What did Amy Witcher say? Sean, I don't have a safe place to go. She wanted to be angry with me because the lady who was going to help me to get her somewhere safe, so she could do that, so that she could turn him in, so that her daughter didn't have to normalize with her predator. That lady jumped the gun. We could have made a couple of phone calls and gotten Amy Witcher a safe place to stay within a couple of days. Instead, she let me know that her ex, who had sexually assaulted her daughter, was watching the kids because she had to kick Andrew out for being a drug addict and sexually assaulting her daughter. She just needed a safe place. But when that lady jumped the gun and I let Amy Witcher know, what did Amy Witcher do? Oh, how dare you go telling my personal business? I told you that in confidence. I told you that Elizabeth was lying. And she told me they're both liars. Well, not quite. When her daughter took a puppy, stuck it in a bench, like the ones that you sit on, one of them toy box benches, put that dog in there, put a hose in it, and made her brother sit on top of it until that dog drowned to death. Well, when you've been molested and raped by your stepdad a few times, you tend to have a little bit of hatred and aggression. A lot of the women that I know that are lesbians, they didn't start off lesbians. Oh, Sean, you are so wrong about that. All lesbians know they're lesbians. No. A lot of the women that I know that are attracted to women, it's not that they're exclusively attracted to women, it's that they were molested by somebody. A lot of the drug addicts I know, they're addicted to drugs. Why? Because when they tried to turn in their predator, they were taken to a nut hatch, injected with drugs, and given a regimen of medications until they're addicted to those. And then at 18, they get dropped off on the streets with no life skills. They have no fucking clue what they're doing, and now they're out on the streets with nothing. Without any of the things that you started off with at 18, you say, oh, well, I earned my first car. Well, these people didn't get the opportunity to do that. They also, when they have to try to do so at 18, have to try to do so without that car. They have to try to get an apartment without that money that you got for graduating high school. These people didn't get that money. A lot of them don't even have an ID or a social security card or a birth certificate. They're dumped off with nothing. And then you punish them for it. Because you're sick pieces of shit. Yeah. Did Marcia Estrada try to turn this in at any point in time? That's a good question to ask. And why is it that the things that she said and the things that Penny Cooper said just don't line up?